turn up. So we're absolutely over the moon that so many people were able to make it. Thanks to Jeff, Mavis and Lisa for their contributions to today's wonderful service. I think that was really great. I must give a special thank you to Antonia's father, Tony, for making this wonderful wedding day possible. He's been absolutely hugely generous. Over the years, I've got to know Tony, and we've enjoyed a number of trips together, most of which turned out to be life-threatening in one way or another. I've realised Tony has a habit of doing adventurous things at the spur of the moment. In fact, we're lucky he's with us today, after he spontaneously booked a holiday weekend to Ibiza. Happened. Antonia's mum once told me, make sure you look after Antonia in South Africa. Don't do anything silly with Tony. I thought, oh, that's a strange thing to say before a vacation, but didn't think anything else of it. The next morning, we scaled the near vertical Table Mountain, crawling on our hands and feet to the summit. At one point I thought to myself, we're not going to make this, someone call in the helicopters. It turns out this wasn't a one-off. 5 minutes after landing in Houston, we were on our way to the Texas All-Star Shooting Center. We decided on our guns and headed to the range. The instructor came over to Tony and he said, are you an experienced gun handler? Have you been here before? Tony nodded his head, took out the bullets and decided to load the pistol. 20 minutes passed and Tony was still fanning around with the gun, trying to figure it out, but not a single bullet was loaded. To this day, I will never forget the look of horror on that instructor's face. On a serious note though, Tony has always made me feel very welcome, and I enjoy spending time with him, because you never know what might happen next. We can't thank him enough for everything he's done for this weekend. I'd also like to say a big thank you to Antonia's mum, Amanda, for her support over the years. When I first met Amanda, I was incredibly nervous, but she was very warm and friendly. Antonia and I have enjoyed many happy times at Strawberry Cottage, and it's been like a second home to us. I especially enjoy watching Amanda and Antonia have a good giggle, usually at my expense. Amanda is Antonia's rock and has supported her through everything. Recently, Amanda helped enormously with our new home, from making curtains to planting flowers and donating vast quantities of furniture. Amanda's help has been huge, and we can't thank her enough. At this point, I should thank my mum and dad. They've always supported me, and they absolutely adore Antonia. To be honest, I was very nervous about my parents meeting Antonia for the first time. It turns out I had absolutely nothing to worry about, until my dad climbed onto the Winter Wonderland stage and performed a rendition of Gangnam Style. Yeah, it's on the playlist, so last but certainly not least, I'd like to say thanks to Antonia. We've been together now for 10 years, and I can't remember it any other way, nor would I want to. I'll never forget the first time I met Antonia. We were in Durham University Students' Union on an ordinary Friday night. Our eyes met across a crowded dance floor, and I knew things would never be the same again. It was as if time stood still. Everything around us slowed down. For a moment, I couldn't hear noise from the bar or the music blaring from the speakers. It was at that point Antonia took me to one side, held her hand in mine, and said, I have Man United season tickets. Over the years, we've experienced so much together, including some amazing adventures. We survived a hurricane in Texas, taught school kids in Uganda, collided with goats in Morocco, evaded bugs in Costa Rica, and discovered Palmo on Teesside. But by far our favourite time together was a surprise weekend to Venice, where I proposed. Before we got engaged, I asked Antonia, if we get married, do you think you'd be able to live on my income? Antonia replied, of course, but what will you live on? As many of you will know, Antonia has an endless array of qualities. And here are just some of the things I love most about Antonia. The way she always gets food on the side of her face no matter what she's eating. Her David Attenborough-esque knowledge of birds and flowers. Antonia's emotional side. She once cried during an episode of Antiques Roadshow. Her amazing work ethic. Antonia organised huge events for our children's charity and worked with massive stars such as Teeny Temper. How she can mix with anyone, regardless of their background, and her ability to find good in all people. Most importantly, Antonia's kind, thoughtful and caring nature. She's more than happy to go out of her way to help others. Finally, I'd like to say Antonia has made me an extremely happy man today, and she looks absolutely beautiful. When she walked down the aisle, she took my breath away. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise a toast to my new wife, Antonia Rose Tulloch. After dinner, my good friends Mike and Dan will give another speech back out on the balcony. And I think now we'll be going through for dinner.